One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
To speak to you about the importance of family and relationships as the bedrock of a healthy society. The rise in individualism and self-orientation has undermined the importance of family and has negatively impacted the mental health of children. Over the last 70 years, there's been a shift in values away from a more relational, empathic, and family-oriented approach to a more self-focused one. Modern and political movements in the 1960s brought positive changes, but every social and political movement also has downsides. The women's rights movement gave women increased opportunities in the workplace and greater freedom of choice in many areas, but it also meant a rise in two-parent working families, where parents gave the responsibility of raising children to others, often placing them in institutional care. Mothers doubted their value as nurturers, and the myth was born that children were self-sufficient from birth and could raise themselves and be just fine. The Me movement gave individuals the opportunity to seek self-determination and self-fulfillment, but at the cost of nurturing relationships and family ties. Freedom replaced responsibility, and the pursuit of one's singular pleasures outweighed caregiving. In addition, the 1950s brought the age of television, advertising, and consumerism, a narrative that the path to happiness was through lifestyle and materialism. An opportunity economy came with the promise of financial independence and promoted career achievement over relationships. These changes to the family ecosystem started to tear apart the social fabric. Fast forward to today, and the legacy of these historical movements has produced generations who value work and materialism over caring for vulnerable children and elderly. The rise of social media, which promises happiness through lifestyle, and the move away from a more relational world of deep emotional connections toward a superficial, self-focused world. 1 in 5 children are breaking down from mental illness. Although the causes of this crisis are multivariable, the rise in self-orientation, otherwise known as narcissistic behavior, is a major contributor to the mental health crisis. Our children have been affected in so many ways. Some are just less happy, more dissatisfied, and more bored with their lives. Others are more obviously symptomatic, suffering from attachment disorders, addictions, depression, anxiety, ADHD, suicidal thoughts, personality disorders, and loneliness, all of which are on the rise. Today's young adults can no longer see value of committing to deep and loving relationships through marriage and children. They feel that having a family is a burden which would require them to sacrifice time, money, and personal freedom. When they do have children, many of them don't want to raise their own children. They want to delegate the care of their children for others to raise because it's too frustrating, uncomfortable, and too much responsibility. Endless opining about the unbearable hardship of parenting is a sign of a youth's fragility and lack of resilience. There's no way to sugarcoat this. The repercussions of 3 generations of self-centeredness means parents are modeling selfishness and emotional fragility to their children. The shift in values to a more self-focused parenting style is contributing to a rise in disorders of the self, otherwise known as narcissistic disorders.
Morning. All right. I am headed to my mother's house this morning, and I want to have a pretty serious conversation about where we find ourselves in society today. This is something that I've been talking about and thinking about quite a bit on a variety of platforms. So you all know me to talk about relationships, right? Dating and relationships and what's going on and where people are and what they're doing and why they're doing it. But another topic that is very close to my heart, and I'm growing more and more passionate about it by the day, is just the societal breakdown of family and children and how we raise our children, how we treat our children. I have made this comment on other videos, and it probably went over your head because it was like a sentence or two, and then I moved on to something else. But I'm going to say it again here because this is primarily what this video is about. I knew that society was in a deep breakdown the day that I woke up. So the day that I woke up and I came to terms with the fact that we no longer protect the most vulnerable people in our society. So when I woke up and I was praying and journaling and putting all of this together, I was like, oh, snap. Like, we're in trouble. Society is in trouble. When you can get to the age, let me tell you another thing. When you can get to the age of 30 and you've never held a baby, you've never taken care of a baby or a little kid, when you can get to the age of 30 and you've not really been around any children like that, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. And the pandemic broke our society in so many ways. So many ways the pandemic just broke our society. And because it's been 5 years, I mean, we have to deal with it. We have to talk about it now because it hasn't technically been that long. Like, we're not 20 years deep into the brokenness that happened over the pandemic. We're not that deep in. We can turn around. We can go back, or we can find another road or another way. So that's why we have to deal with it now. We have to talk about it now. Because if we let 10, 15, 20 years and we it's like wearing down a path. We cannot let that path get worn down. We have to come back. We have to find another way. And we have to let that grass grow back in that path. We cannot keep treading the path that we're on. And that's why so many people are starting to like really speak up, really get on fire about this. I'm one of them. When we let the most vulnerable people in our society, which is children, when we stop caring about them, somebody said it was broken beforehand. It had its parts that were definitely broken. And the kid thing, can I be honest? The kid thing has been happening for about 25 years, 30 years, right? So that's not something that happened overnight, because we have been institutionalizing our children for 40 years. So I agree with that. That didn't just happen. That's a slow erosion in the family. So the no-fault divorce, the institutionalizing of children, and that's daycare, in case you didn't know. If you are putting your 6-week-old baby in a daycare, if people that are not blood related are taking care of your child 8-10 hours a day in an institutionalized setting where there are other babies, so your baby is not being held but so much, they're not being, cared for, loved on. No. There's no real bond or attachment forming. They are simply meeting the physical needs of your baby. Your baby is in institutionalized care. Okay? And don't even get me started on once they go to school. That's a whole nother conversation. That ain't no better. But when we started, once the sexual liberation, the feminist movement, this is why I keep talking to people about this, because we're now seeing the destruction, like 20, 30, 40 years. We're now seeing the destruction of those things coming. Now it's all coming around. It's all coming around. Now we're seeing the results of sexual liberation, feminist movement. But when, telling moms, go to work, right? Go to work. Be a boss babe, girl, or get a degree. Get a degree and get a career and go to work. And here's the truth of the matter. This is what people do not want to come to terms with. All of this was the powers that be like, yeah, we got more people working. We got more people we're taxing. And look, women, this is where they really knew what they was doing. So we're going to start marketing to women. Like, we're going to market our products, our services, all this crap to women. Women are the biggest consumers in the world. So they need y'all out here. They need y'all out here working. They need y'all out here spending. like women are the greatest consumers in the world. Y'all gonna buy some stuff. Y'all gonna buy some stuff. You gonna buy some stuff you don't need. You gonna buy some stuff you don't want. You gonna buy some stuff you ain't never gonna use. You gonna buy some stuff to make other women jealous. You gonna buy some stuff. So they knew exactly what they were doing. And y'all fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I'm riding into the sun, so I gotta put on my sunglasses. Y'all fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And so that set up a system where y'all see now y'all crying about we can't live off of one income. Because they set it up that way. Once they tricked y'all into going into work and then buying all this crap that you don't want, don't need, don't use, can't afford. Yeah, you do need two incomes. The number one thing, so when young couples come to me, and one of the things that I help young couples do is I teach them how to live off of one income. I teach young couples whether they want the wife to stay at home, and there are many young couples where the wife wants to stay at home and the husband wants her to stay at home. I teach them how to do it for the first 5 years of their child's life. I teach them how to do it. And it's not easy. It's not easy because I have to break down the mindset. It's almost like I have to deconstruct the mindset and then reconstruct it. Which is, there are a whole lot of things that y'all are buying and paying for that you do not need. They are not necessities. You've tricked yourself into thinking it's a necessity. It's not a necessity. You don't need it. And the reason why I'm so good about this and passionate about this is I did it. I did it. When I got married to my then husband, there was a whole lot of things I was buying and doing and all the things that I was like, well, I ain't gonna do that no more. I'm not gonna do that no more. I'm going to prioritize my children. I'm going to prioritize my husband. Oh, and that's the dirtiest word ever. How dare I sacrifice? Sacrifice in 2025 is the dirtiest word ever. How dare I give up something for others? That's the dirtiest, nastiest word ever. So because I'm, planning my tiny home adventure, and I'm working hard on that. That's kind of I'm not going to say it's my last chapter, but it's close to my last chapter because I'm getting up there. I am now returning to minimalism. And it's something I was practicing minimalism when I was in college. So I was really into it when I was in college. Oh my gosh, I was just that minimalist chick, and everybody knew me for that. And they would come into my apartment and they were like, wow, like, this is minimalist, all right, and I loved it. I loved it. And you know what really brought it on is when it became clear to me that I had some like ADHD symptoms. So I've always had ADHD symptoms. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to identify, but I have some ADHD symptoms. And once I realized that when I was in college, so I realized it when I was in college the first time. And then I dropped out because I could not focus, I was a procrastinator. I still am. And, I just felt like, okay, college isn't for me. But then when I recognized, okay, something's going on with me, and I realized it was the ADHD symptoms, right? I said, okay, I got to figure out a way to manage this. Because if y'all know me, I'm not going to identify with something negative. That ain't going to happen. I'm not going to identify with something that's limiting. Like, I don't believe in taking on a diagnosis and now I can't do nothing. No. I might have some ADHD symptoms, ADHD behaviors that I am going to create a hack around so I can keep living and keep being great. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm never going to self-identify with something that's negative. Okay, so now I go, okay, I got to figure this out. And I returned to college, and minimalism. That was the way. Less, having less, keeping up with less, streamlining, time blocking. That's when I finally realized, okay, I can beat this. I can manage this. And I always drank caffeine before I studied. I still do that to this day. I drink caffeine before I have to do my notes or I have to sit down and write books and focus. I drink caffeine. Okay, that's my drug of choice. So it helps me to focus. And that's one of the things that I tell a lot of young couples. You're going to have to embrace kind of a minimalist lifestyle, only getting what you need, not what you want. On occasion, and here's the thing, I help them to budget, and I put a little money aside for a want, right? Because I do think as humans, we need to have a want every now and again. We can't just, survive off of needs for years and years and years and years and years. But I put a little money aside every month for a want. And I find out what it is for the man, and I find out what it is for the woman. What's one thing that you want? You don't need it, but you want it. And so the woman may say, well, I really want to go and get my hair done once a month. Okay, I set aside money for that one. Or she may say, I really want to keep my nails. Okay, then I satisfy. But everything else, can't have it all. Not at the same time. We're going to save that on the back end. Right? So a lot of people hear me say, oh, the housekeeper, the lawn guy, the this, the that, the travel, blah, blah, blah. That's because my kids are grown. I saved all that for the back end. See, I can do all that now. And I always tell young couples, you're going to be able to do that too, just not right now. You are going to prioritize the mental health and the emotional health of your children and each other. That's what you're going to prioritize the first 5 years of your children's life. Okay? Stop keeping up with the Joneses. Stop trying to be something you're not. Stop focusing on all these things that you want, but you don't really need. You can do it. I have 3 couples right now where the wife stays at home and they live off the husband's income. And they are doing just fine. They have 2 children, 3 children, and they are doing just fine. But they had to get their priorities in order. They had to figure out what was really important. And I'm going to tell you what's really important. You ready? I don't need you to figure that out on your own. I'm about to tell you. Your children are really important. If you're married, your spouse is really important. Okay? So this whole career and my work and my accolades and all this other stuff. I got people right now breaking under the weight, and it's silly to me. It's beyond silly. It's just beyond silly, y'all. When I tell y'all it's bright out here, good Lord. It's beyond silly to me. I got people working full time, going to school, got 4 kids, married. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then I break all of that down, and they like, well, no wonder you in here. No wonder you in here working on your marriage. No wonder you in here worried about your children. Because you are doing too much. You can't do all those things well. Something is not going to get done well. And I'm very honest. Like I said, I had a new couple that I just started working with this week. They're like, well, this was very, like when the session was over, they're like, wow, I just feel like she just told us, like, this first hour, like, wow, like, we got a lot to think about, right? No, I ain't got that kind of time. Like, y'all need to understand, I'm older. I don't have 6 sessions to warm you up. I don't have 6 sessions to wake you up. You got to get some wake up call in the first session with me. Like, that's what's going to happen. In the first session with me, you're going to leave that session like, okay, then, well, I got to go home and reflect on the 3 things that Anita gave me. Like, yeah, I ain't got 6 sessions. I don't. Like, I don't have it. Okay. I'm older and, you know, I can't beat around the bush with you for 6 sessions and warm you up and then drop some bombs. Like, I got to do that straight off rip. Okay. And a lot of people have said that, like, is it because you're older? Like, what is that style about? I said, yeah, I don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of patience to sit there and dibble and dabble with you for 6 sessions to get you all comfortable. No, some things you got to know right now. Like, you know, and think about, like, if you are out somewhere and it's an emergency, because sometimes, you know how funny people are about, I need it said a certain way and I need it said with certain words and I need it to come all gentle. If we out somewhere and it's a shooting and I say, get down, like, come on now. Come on now. The urgency in which I'm speaking, come on now. Stop it. But some people are funny. Well, I just need it said. No. We in do or die. Do you understand this? We are 10 months into the Trump administration. It's do or die time. Okay? I don't have that kind of time to tiptoe through the tulips with you. It's some things you got to grasp quickly. Okay? So that's for anybody that's like, yeah, I don't understand. Why are you so blunt? Why are you so direct? Because we don't have that kind of time anymore. And society, we are seeing the repercussions of 20, 30, 40 years of dysfunction. So you're institutionalizing your babies. This what y'all believe. This what y'all have been tricked into believing. You ready? You have been tricked into believing that your baby is resilient, that your baby can, you know, they're self-reliant from birth. Oh, they gonna be all right. Like, they self-reliant from birth. And they're resilient. That, oh, the things that we're doing are not going to have consequences on our children. They will. My divorce had negative consequences on my children. Can I be transparent? I'm dealing with some of those consequences right now. It affected each child differently, but it affected all 3 of my children. And I am managing those consequences to the best of my ability. I'm doing the best I can with the cards that I was dealt. My marriage was abusive because I've had some people reach out and ask me that I guess they want to know something personal about me, which I talk about all the time. My marriage was abusive. It was not he keeps leaving the toilet seat out. No, I didn't care about that. And I don't understand why women do care about that. Why do you care about the toilet seat being left up? You don't look at the toilet before you sit down? Like, that's dumb. Like, what? You don't look at the toilet before you sit down? Just put the toilet seat down. What is the big deal? So the toilet seat being up, the cap being off the toothpaste, the drawers being in the bathroom floor and all of that stuff, I don't care about that. But if you are talking to me like a dog, if you are disrespecting me verbally in front of my children, if you are emotionally cruel, if you are mentally cruel, if you are neglectful, okay, if you If it's physical abuse, like, no, God didn't put me here to be abused. Like, huh? God did not put me on this earth to be abused. Okay, so no. And look, I'm sitting here trying to work it out with you. I'm sitting here trying to go, look, like, this ain't gonna work. This is getting dangerous. Like, this is not okay. I am being hurt and damaged here. Come on now. Like, I'm trying to work it out with you over years. Taking you everywhere, taking you to the pastor, taking you to the marriage counselor. I'm trying to work it out because I know the damage that can be caused by a divorce. That's the last thing I want. But then that nail in the coffin. And there was a nail in the coffin, y'all. That final blow that you're going to affect me physically. Yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm sitting here trying to work it out with you, and I can't do it. And you know what I often say? And people think I'm being funny, but I'm really not. I had to leave that marriage to save his life. Like, I did. I had to leave that marriage to save his life because I was so, like, mentally, like, unstable. I was so like, I'm a hurt this man. Like, I'm a hurt this man. Right? That's the lengths at which I have been pushed. Like, somebody's gonna get hurt here. Somebody's gonna see the hospital, the jail, or the cemetery. Like, I kid y'all not. And that's when I said, okay, I made my plan. It took a whole year. Of, okay, this is what's going to happen. This I'm going to prepare for it. So it is true what they say. The woman makes her decision and she's still in the marriage, but she just biding her time, saving her money, getting her mind right, getting all her ducks in a row. That is true what they say. Because that's exactly what I did over a whole 12 months. Then you pull that trigger and then it ain't nothing that can save it. Ain't nothing that can save it at that point. We done. We good. Okay? But yes, there were negative consequences from my divorce to me and to my children. But it had to be done. I feel thankful and blessed that they rebounded and they had their family, they had me, they had a lot of people in their life that helped with some of that damage. They had their church home, they had a lot of people, they had an entire village to help deal with that damage. But it had to be done. But the fact that people have these, these selfish, these self-absorbed, these narcissistic tendencies on steroids, it's like on steroids now, the me generation. And again, it didn't start 5 years ago. This started in the 80s, if I'm being honest. Like, this started a while ago, and now this is the fruit that the tree is bearing. Me. I don't want to have no kids. I don't want to think that's too much of a responsibility. I don't want to, take care of my elderly parents. I don't want to, take care of a spouse. I don't want to be responsible to a spouse. Like, I mean, this thing is not looking good. I am driving. I am literally changing around my entire life. I want y'all to understand something. I'm changing around my entire life for the next 8 weeks to facilitate my mother's rehabilitation from her hip replacement. I am spending time. I am spending money. I am putting forth effort and energy. I have to be over here first thing in the morning. I have to be over here last thing at night. So I get her up in the morning, get her bathed, help her to, get bathed, help her to get dressed, help her to all the things. Then I have one of my kids drop off. So I make her breakfast. Then one of my kids drops off a meal in the middle of the day. And then I come at night. She gets dinner. I wind her down for the night. I help her get back upstairs. Because she likes to come downstairs. And I help her get back upstairs. And I help her, get ready for bed. I will be doing that for the next 8 weeks. I'm taking care of her dog. Like, yeah, It's inconvenient. Yeah. Right? It's inconvenient. But it's what we're called to do. It is the higher calling, just like my children. And I thank God. I thank God every day I had a good mother. I had a mother who stayed at home with me. She stayed at home with me the first 4 or 5 years of my life before she went back to work. I had a mother who breastfed me at her breast. I had a mother who loved me. I had a mother who anticipated the needs that I have. And guess what? It produced a pretty great daughter. Her son is here. Her son and her daughter. Her son flew here from Florida to be here for her first week and to help me and to help her. Like, this is what healthy families do. This is what it's all about, is taking care of each other. And it's the reason why her children don't have depression. It's the reason why her children don't have crippling anxiety. It's the reason why her children have a measure of success in this life. That they're not strung out on drugs. They're not in jail. It's the reason why, it's like, yeah, you live a certain way. You take care of your children. You live by the 3 tenets that I taught you all a few days ago: moral, legal, ethical. You live by those tenets, and you're going to have a pretty good life. It's the reason why her son's still married. My brother's been married for almost 40 years. So my parents did something right. My mother definitely. So it's my honor to take care of her. It's my honor to take care of my mother. Now, some people would use the word duty, right? I personally don't like that duty. I don't like that word. I don't like the word duty, because to me, it almost feels like I'm being made to, or I don't know. It's like that. None of that is true, though. I want to do it. I want to do it. And just like when men say, oh, it's your duty to be in the marriage and it's your duty to have sex with your husband, I don't like that word, because it implies that it's a drudgery. It implies that, I'm just going to do it regardless of how I feel. No, I'm going to do it because I want to. And I will always want to do it. I will never not want to do it. And if my marriage was, had problems, or there was an emotional disconnect, I'm going to want to fix that. like I want to do that. I want to fix it so that I want to have sex with my husband again. So that's why I'm not keen on the word duty. I know it's a me thing. Y'all. Okay? But I'm not keen on the word duty. I'm here, not because it's my duty, because I want to take care of the mother who took care of me. I want to do that. Same with my kids. I can't tell you how many times I've been called in the middle of the night by my middle daughter. And is it inconvenient? Heck yeah. Am I annoyed? Yes, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And yet I'm going to get up. I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to see to whatever it is she got going on. It's my honor to do that. It's my responsibility to do that. I really, really believe that, but we're getting away from that. You got people out here, and look, I had a friend that we were having this roundtable discussion over the weekend, and this is what is sparking this talk right now. We had this roundtable discussion over the weekend about why people are putting their parents in homes and they're not taking care of them, or they're not taking care of their parents. And can we be honest? I think their parents never took care of them. I think it's just the chickens coming home to roost. Their parents never really took care of them. Their parents, just set them out into the world at a very young age and expected them to raise themselves. Their parents put them in institutionalized daycare. They're the product of latchkey, right? I'm a product of latchkey. I was older. It didn't happen when I was younger. It happened when I was much older. I think I was like 9 or 10. And so there's no emotional bond there. There's no emotional, connection there. And so when their parents get older and they become an inconvenience, they become a burden. That's what y'all call kids and a husband now, a burden. And wonder why you are depressed. Wonder why you are anxious. Wonder why you're on mental health med. Wonder why you're discontented and unhappy. Your life has zero meaning outside of you. All you can think about is you. Me. That is actually what depression is. People who are not thinking about other people, they're not doing for other people, they are so self-absorbed with themselves and their life and what ain't going right and what they ain't got and this and that and over. That's all they do day and night. And it just shrinks them into this deep depression. And I'm just like, really? Can you get up and do something for someone else? Can you help someone else? Like, what? So, yeah, we have to wake up. We have to wake up. It's getting bad. We're going to have 10, 20, 30-year generations of people unmarried, without spouses, without children, without purpose. Work cannot be your main purpose. Work cannot be. Those people don't give a fig about you. They will let you go. They will lay you off. We are learning that this year. What was once one of the most stable jobs you can get, which was with the government. My mom even said it. We were talking about this last night at Sunday dinner. She said, I never thought I'd see the day when people that work in the federal government would lose their job. She said, back in my day, you had to kill somebody to lose your government job. You had to kill your supervisor to lose your government job. And half my family worked for the government. And they was cutting up, they was doing all kind of stuff, and they retired with a pension. My mom retired with a pension. And now, ain't nowhere safe. The government ain't safe. These people don't care about you. You can build up their company and build up what they doing and work for them for 20, 30 years, and they will let you go. They're not going to be there when you're sick. My mom's, ain't nobody she worked with here today taking care of her when she need help. Guess who's taking care of her? Her family, her children, her church home. We need to develop healthy relationships again. This whole, toxic individualism and, me, and self, and, independent and all this other nonsense. Look at where it's gotten us. And for the record, the loneliness epidemic is affecting everybody, right? The ladies love to talk about, oh, the men are lonely. It's affecting everybody. Y'all are too prideful. The women are too prideful to admit that they're lonely. And guess who needs a hug more than anybody, ladies? You. Women are starved of oxytocin today. That's why they're so mean. That's why they're so ornery. That's why they're so non-compassionate and unempathetic. They are starved of oxytocin. That's why. But guess where you get oxytocin from? Taking care of your mother, making her meals, bathing her, taking care of your children, nurturing them, loving them, breastfeeding them. See, that's where you get oxytocin from. Taking care of your husband, see? Making his meals, massaging him. See? But y'all ain't got none of that. Making love to your husband. Oh, you get filled with oxytocin. Y'all fall deep in love. But you ain't got that. And you're mean. You're mean as a snake and you're ornery. Because you need a hug. You need an orgasm. You need a kiss. You need long conversations. You need to make some serotonin. That's another one. You need some serotonin. So, but no, you know what y'all living off of? Dopamine. That's what all them pictures on your Instagram is about. That's what all them thirst traps is about. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. Oh, another like, another hard-ass comment, another fire emoji comment. Baby, you can't survive off of that. That's not real. That's temporary. That's why you keep posting and posting and posting. Dopamine is like drugs. It's a temporary high. Doesn't have any long lasting effect like oxytocin and serotonin and vasopressin, right? Doesn't have any long term effect. It's just boop, boop, boop. See, that's it. That's why you got to keep getting it, because it doesn't last. It wears off just like drugs. So we have got to wake up. We got to wake up. We got to do something different, because it's bad. It's bad. And it's been going down this road for a long time. But can I be honest? It's because I'm in this space. Now I'm gonna tell y'all why it matters to me now. So prior to 6 years ago, when I started my YouTube channel and I started my Instagram, so that all happened in 2019. Prior to that, I wasn't thinking about y'all. I wasn't thinking about any of y'all. I wasn't on Facebook like that. I had a Facebook page since 2007, but I really wasn't thinking about y'all like that. I really wasn't thinking about Instagram. I've never had Snapchat. I will never have TikTok. And I was watching YouTube videos like here and there to fix stuff, but I really wasn't thinking about y'all like that. I was living my fabulous life out here in the world. I was raising my children. I was building my business. I was just doing other things with my life and my world. And it was when I got into this space and I started interacting with more people. Now I interact with thousands of people every day. That's when my eyes were like, oh, snap. Like, no wonder God kind of led me in this direction, because he was like, hey, people gonna need you. People gonna need what you got. People gonna need, wake them up. Wake them up, Anita. Okay, I put you here at this time in history to be a part of waking folks up, of bringing back common sense, of helping people to love again and to identify what really matters. That's why you're doing this. But prior to that, I wasn't thinking about y'all. I was happy as a lamb. Okay, happy as a lamb. I was in a relationship. I was kind of finishing up raising my kids and building my business, and I was like, I ain't thinking about y'all. I really was not. And then I come into this space and I'm like, oh, snap, people are really struggling. People are really clueless as to what is happening, like what's happening. And you know what? I was clueless. So I can't beat up on y'all. I was just as clueless as y'all. So yeah, I got to do what I can do now. I do. I have to do what I can do. My voice has to go out. I pray that it does not come back void. And who knows, somebody will say, you know what? Let me think about this, and it'll land. It'll land. That's my hope. All right, y'all, I got to go. We will be meeting. School will be meeting tonight. So we're meeting every other week while I try to finish up this book. We will be meeting tonight. If you are interested in Skool, if you're interested in learning all about it, and taking the course that is there, it's called Relationship Skills 101. I'll be adding a few more modules, but I'm actually about to close that course out. I'm going to be starting another one, probably January. I'll start another course. So I'll be closing out Relationship Skills 101. But if you are interested in taking the course, if you're interested in coming to our bi-weekly meeting, all you have to do is email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. Skool will send you an email. You should be able to click the link in it, set up your username and your password. It should not ask for a credit or debit card, and you will be in the Skool platform. And you'll get to see for yourself like what Skool is all about. You'll get to go through the course. You'll get to meet with us. I do post every week, once or twice, just videos that I find to be really helpful that I want y'all to check out. But consider joining Skool. It is for men. It is for women. It is also a safe space where men and women can come and interact with each other and talk with each other and meet each other and try to understand each other. That was my other intention when I started Skool. I wanted to make a safe space for men and women to come and interact in a real way, in an intelligent way, in a mature way. Okay, so if you're interested in that, send me that email at info@betterlovemovement.com. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all the ways that you support my platform. You all support the platform. I mean, you really do. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you for buying a badge, Garland. Have a great rest of the day. I appreciate you all. And as always, stay open to love.